due to the Gateshead Council denying the club of a 10-year lease on the international stadium. Gateshead are not allowed to compete in this season's National League playoffs. The Gateshead Council have shown once and for all they could not give a shit about our football club or any sports club in the Gateshead area. Yes, hello everyone and welcome to a rather special video on this channel. Now, of course, this video was intended to be just me reacting to today's FA Trophy draw, which I'm going to be doing in a bit, but I think there is only one place to start with this particular video, and is with the news that has come out within the last maybe hour and a bit or so, and that is that, in a nutshell, should it come to it, Gateshead FC will be eligible for promotion this season. Now, I'm going to read you a statement that the club put out on the socials within the last maybe hour or so, and it reads as follows. Following the situation between Gateshead FC licensee and Gateshead Council, the landlord, at the end of the 2023-24 season in relation to the non-granting of a 10-year licence between parties, which ultimately resulted in the club being unable to participate in the National League playoffs, the parties have been in negotiations to ensure that the same would not happen going forward. Negotiations have concluded between the EFL and the club, whereby a form of wording agreeable to the EFL has now been reached. This has been agreed in principle with the council, and we expect this to be signed off at Cabinet tomorrow, the 19th of November. This document is a letter of guarantee which will confirm that should GFC be in a position to be promoted to the EFL, the council will grant the necessary licence to GFC to facilitate such, and which will fulfil the EFL's entry criteria. Despite the council having agreed in principle to this procedure of an external operator being in place to operate its leisure facilities across the borough, including the Gateshead International Stadium, this does not affect the proposed licence between the council and the club. So, I think it's been since I did that video on the day of us finding out that the club would not be able to compete in last season's National League playoffs. I think it's been a long, drawn-out process, and I think we've been waiting for this particular news for so long. And I think now that it's come about, I just hope that we can just begin to move forward. I think what happened last season hurt, and I'm not going to sit here and deny that it really did hurt. I mean, this is, Gateshead Football Club it's a big part of my life. It's where the majority of my friends are. It is, something that I do the majority of the weeks in the year. So to have the opportunity to get into the Football League ripped away from us by political matters after a hard fought season last season, it really did hurt. But I think when something like that happens, I think the main thing is to just ensure that it doesn't happen again, and that has it looks as though that is now the case. But obviously now the main thing is for the players on the pitch to go out and obtain that promotion, because as we say, there's never ever any guarantees in football. It is an extremely tough division, but you know what, they've remained professional throughout the course of this season up to now, where we're still right up there in the mix. So hopefully it is onwards and upwards from there. Hopefully this news will maybe be a lift for everyone at the club, because as I make this video, yes, we maybe are in a little bit of a dip in form, but if that can lift everyone's spirits and get everyone pulling in the same direction once again, then let's just see where it leads, man. Honestly, because I personally think there's a quality within this team to finish in that top seven, then what the playoffs from there. You just never know. It is effectively 2 to 3 cup games from that point. Is just about whether you turn up on turn up on the day or not. So yeah, let's just see where we go. But I've got to say, I just hope against all against anything really that this most definitely does not ever happen again, and and as we say, we can now begin to look forward instead of back. But that is segment one of this video over and done with. Now let's have a chat about the FA Trophy draw, which was conducted today. Of course, Gateshead won this particular competition last season, and our defence of our title begins at home on Saturday the 7th of December with a visit from Farsley Celtic. Now, you might, if you watch my videos on a regular basis, you might be thinking, hang on, I've watched Gateshead play against Farsley Celtic recently. Well, you would be right, because we actually did play Farsley Celtic at home in our final pre-season friendly, which was a 6-0 win for the Heat. Will it be that comprehensive this time around? I personally doubt it, but I think... I don't think you can really have many complaints about the draw. I think really on paper we should be winning this particular tie, but then again, as we say, there's never any guarantees in football, and particularly in cup football. But I've got to say I'm reasonably pleased with that one. Of course, things not going particularly well for Farsley off the pitch at the minute. Obviously, while we're on the subject of matters surrounding football grounds, they're not even able to use theirs at the minute. So if you think we've had it bad with a situation with ours, spare them a thought. But as we said, hopefully we'll be professional on the day, and I'm confident we will, and get ourselves into the next round. Now, let's have a look at some other ties from this round. For me, are standouts, and there's quite a few sort of games with there's quite a few like local derbies, if you will, that most definitely there to be looked forward to, and so let's have a look at some of them in the northern section. Now, York City are up against Darlington. Now, you might not think this is a local derby, but then again, I think you can get from Darlington to York on a train in like less than half an hour, pretty much. So I think that one's going to be a pretty tasty kind of game. I think Darlow will take a lot of fans down there. There's quite a few ex-York players in the Darlington team. Obviously, York doing very, very well just now in the National League. So I think that is one to definitely keep your eye on. I think possibly the tie of the round overall has to be Altrincham versus Macclesfield. Now, this is quite an old non-league rivalry. I don't think they've really played each other in maybe best part of a decade now. Obviously, Macclesfield have been through the mill, it's safe to say, with financial issues and that sort of thing. Obviously, they got to the FA Trophy semi-final last season. They were beaten against Gateshead. I think that is one that will certainly capture the imagination of everyone in that particular part of the country. I think that is definitely is a tie that you've got to keep your eye on. And one more in the northern section before we move on to the southern section. This obviously isn't a derby, but it's certainly a very, very unique tie, and it is Stockton Town versus Oldham Athletic. Now, you think of where these two sides have come from. Obviously, Oldham were the founder members of the Premier League, whereas Stockton, I can remember it wasn't that long ago, they were in the Wearside League, and over the years worked their way up the leagues, and now strutting the stuff in the Northern Premier League, Premier Division. So that's going to be, I think that's what cup football's all about, me. You've got an underdog in Stockton coming up against Oldham. I'm sure the Bishopton Road West will get one hell of a turnout that day. And I've got to say, I'm a little bit disappointed that you don't really see that many Friday night and Sunday games in the FA Trophy, because if you did, and any changes came to it, I'd have a good mind to attend either York against Darlow or that Stockton versus Oldham game. But anyway, moving on to the south, and there's a couple of derbies you've got to keep your out for in here. One of them is Yeovil Town versus Weymouth, and the other being Slough Town versus Maidenhead United. So yeah, a couple of really interesting ties there. Like Slough and Maidenhead, like really not far away from each other at all. Same with Yeovil and Weymouth. But I guess the ultimate question is, can the Heed retain the FA Trophy this year, or someone else take our crown? We'll obviously find out in due course. These ties are due to take place on the weekend of Saturday, the 7th of December. So a good few weeks away yet. Obviously quite a lot of league games between now and then to negotiate, but I've got to say, looking forward to it. I do like this competition, and hopeful that we can have another decent run, and you know what, possibly become the first team since Grays Athletic in 2006, I believe, to win this competition 2 years in a row. And I think the last team that got to this final 3 years on the trot was possibly even Scarborough, like back in the 70s or the 80s or something like that. So yeah, the old records for us to chase and to possibly break, but we'll find out in due course. But that is that for this video, and the next video I'll be doing after this will be uploaded on Friday morning, and it is of my experience the night before of this year's Football Content Awards at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Now, before obviously crack on with that video and I'll show you what the night's like, I would just like to thank every single person that has got me there for a second year in a row. It really does feel quite surreal, not least because the shortlisting process was a lot more rigorous this year. So I think if I am there like this year, it maybe shows that maybe I'm doing something right. I mean, I know the channel's been going through a little bit of a sticky patch at the minute in terms of the maybe not drawing in as many sort of people as I would like. Maybe the standard of videos has gone out. I don't know, but I think like you look at the way I finished last season, standing in the wind and the rain at the downhill hub, going to Carlsruhe and back in a day. Obviously the whole situation about Gateshead firstly chasing a playoff spot, then being denied it. Gateshead winning the FA Trophy. So it's been a great year, and hopefully on Thursday we can round it all off in style. I mean, I know there's still about a month or so of the year left, and plenty of videos in that time, but it would be lovely to have something to show for it. So thank you once again to everyone that's got us there. But until Friday morning, take care. Cheers for watching. See you later.